Hello everybody, I'm that one Scot, and to say that I have been rendered speechless by the reaction to the last video I put up is a bit of an understatement. I honestly wasn't expecting the subscribers or the comments I got for the last video I put up. I really wasn't. And the views that I saw, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I thought, wow, it's not been up for that long and I'm getting this much attention towards this type of video. And to be fair, it wasn't because how to word this is the thing for me at this point. There are some people who do YouTube strictly to get views. I'm doing these videos because I genuinely enjoy the music, and anything else on top of that is a complete bonus for me. So to see that there are people who honestly cared that much about what I had to say and liked the reaction that I gave and just that in general, that blew me away. I don't think you'll ever know how much that surprised me. So I thought to myself, how about I thank you by doing another Jinjer video, and I thought, since I've seen this one advertised, I'm going to go ahead and get a reaction to that, and you can just enjoy my take on it, because I'm going to do the lyrics again after this video, since that was very much enjoyed the last time. So I'm going to go ahead and do it with this one as well. So so without further ado, I'm not going to waste too much time on this. I just want to thank you first off. I just want to let you know that I appreciated that you subscribed and you even commented. I really did appreciate that. Although I will say, if I am right, the Mortal Kombat review will have been put up before this, so this will have probably been advertised in the description for that video, and if it is, then I've lined this up perfectly, because I can't see this coming up before, I can see this coming up after, but this is also going to be a film review channel as well, just heads up on it, it's going to be the case, that's what's going to happen here. So with that put into place, let's just go ahead and I'll watch this and react to it, and you can let me know what you think in the comment section. So, here we go in 3, 2, 1, click.
Like a lunatic, frantic, the man in the room looks so dramatic with a tattoo on his right foot.
I had to pause for one reason. Like the film I reviewed, this feels like a bit of a throwback towards the early 90s type of grunge. And hell, even outside of grunge, it feels like a throwback to the kind of early 90s bands and things like that. It feels like that. Just for the sound so far. Because the last reaction I did, the music wasn't what I was too focused on. I was more focused on Tatiana for obvious reasons. This time though, it's the music is taking the foreground for me, because it's more intriguing to me with the sounds that are kind of coming through, especially with the production. It feels like it's got the kind of grunge feel, but not quite the grunge sound is maybe how I should describe it. Anyway, I'll continue to see how else this goes, because I'm expecting her to scream at some point. And yep, she sounds good and clean so far, even just with the breathtaking of vocals. Well, it sounds a bit breathy, but you know what I'm getting at. Anyway, let's continue.
The spiral traffic feels too dramatic. Too dramatic. Oh, how heavy is the bar?
This has got such a throwback to the 90s, it's not even funny. It really is. It just feels right in that vein. Although it's as if a band through the 90s went back to their time, came back here and decided to take out some of the heaviness to it, if you understand what I mean. As if they've done that. I'm enjoying it. I do expect there to be a bit of vocal change with Tatiana, but I'm a wee bit surprised it's not went there, but maybe there's a good reason for that. So far so good. I like that they keep the videos very minimalistic at this point. I like that they don't try to outdo themselves. I mean, I believe I Speak Astronomy went and outdid itself with CGI, green screen, that type of thing. Because I'm aware that they've done other videos in that, which, if there's any videos out there you want me to do just to cover for lyrical content versus video, if there's any I've heard, then go ahead and I don't mind, although you don't tell me one, so it's a bit of a problem. Aye. Minimalistic in terms of video and sets, so they point to their strengths. Alright, okay, I'll continue on that.
It bends its spine to the very ground. Neither his nor another, and almost ludicrous. Oh, how heavy is his thumb? In half an hour or so, it crushed the floor and smashed the man's toes.
Okay, alright. I'm going to pause there before giving it a chance to scream my ears out. I don't quite know what's happening in the video, and I'll have to do the lyrics afterwards. And even when she's singing, I'm too focused in the music in the video to really focus on what she's singing, so I'm stuck in between that wee bit at this point, but I will cover them further than not. They are just plain embarrassing other types of musical acts at this point, and it's the same. I could say the same about bands like Slipknot, Korn, these kind of bands. I can say the same about them, and maybe other bands that have been about for the last maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years that I've not heard about. This is why I love metal, the variety. It's the amount of variety you get in the music. And I really would like to hear more of her cleans than her screams. I'm not against her screams. I like them. But it would be good to see what she, and it's good by getting a bit of more like vocal variety fair here, so I'd like to know a bit more about where she can go with that. Because with the screams, I'm aware she can go quite high and quite low, so, you know. So I'm going to see if she, where else she goes with this and this thing, so, there we go.
Across the floor, not smashed the lands. Through the black hole in the floor, spin. I'm making my world swell. I'm a devil in the fierce stand. Without soul, with the well.
Alright. Pausing really quickly for one reason. I should explain something. There are some reactors out there who will jump about the room and do that kind of thing when things change. With me, I'm very analytical, so when I'm listening for the music, I'm listening for what they're playing, I'm listening for the video's distracting me from the music, so I'm no so intrigued. I'm not as invested as I should be in certain parts because the video is just so distracting from what I'm really should listen to. I should probably just focus on lyrical versions of these types of songs so I can really just fine tune into it. There's certain people who would watch these videos and just go out and just play up to the camera just to make people think they're into these things and they're not. I'm not that guy. if something moves me, it moves me. And the music isn't a problem. I'm loving what I'm hearing. It's the video that's just taking me off a wee bit. So it looks like I might not be taken into it. That's not the case. I love that change up with the guitars, because as soon as that guitar change up came in, I was thinking, okay, you're still doing it. This is going to be good. And so far it has been. So this is what I'm dealing with. But nevertheless, I'm still enjoying it. So I want to see where else it's going to go. Because when they did that change up, and she started screaming, the music's the mere centrepiece this time, so I don't know where, based off the video, I'm supposed to quite look, because my ears might be wanting to go one direction, but my eyes are wanting to go another. Hence, that's where I'm at this point, so let's just continue.
Like a feather, I travel down this part of the case. One more look through a beam, where stars run arise. Like a feather, I travel down this part of the case. Falling deeper than it is. All stars are arise.
Alright, I've got to pause there. I'm in between being caught up in Tatiana, which is singing and screaming, and trying to understand it while the band's playing at the same time, and I'm stuck because I want to admire the musicianship, and then I'm trying to understand what Tatiana's saying. Then there's a video going, by the way, over here. So I'm between three places technically, and then when oh man, I should have did the lyrical version of this. I really should have. But nevertheless, we're this far in, so I've got to see where it's going to go.
Through rapids and storms, I can like water and like when I go. Through rapids and storms, I can like water and like when I go. Spin, swirl, wow, spin, swirl.
I didn't realise how close to the end we were at that point, so I'll just let it play first before I say anything else. Nope, you're getting paused. Okay. If I was to sum everything up so far that I've heard, based off this is a band that there's nothing they can't play, right? Because there's that many places that video was gone, I mean, the video is designed to take your attention for the director or the band want your attention to go. That's all designed strictly for that, right? That's fair enough. I was in between, and I'll have to go back and listen to it again. I was in between trying to just listen to enjoy the music where it was going, because it started off with what I said with the 90s type thing, and then it went up into more heavier Jinjer that everybody's familiar with. And it was actually a nice wee variation of the band as a whole, of where they were starting off to where they were going. But again, even when she was singing, I was actually having trouble picking up what she was saying. Part of it is because I've got bad hearing, so, you know, can't really be blamed for that part. But let's just, this isn't the lyrics, and I'm not quite reading them, I'm just kind of like scanning my eyes over them just to see, you know, where they're going. But the song as a whole started off kind of like, say, not quite light, but started off here, but then went all the way up here. So the stereotherapy is showing us that the full range, I'd say, technically, of what the band can do when really trying to prove a point, and that's how I see what they did with this. So, alright, so I'll start off with the lyrics now. Okay. Like a lunatic, frantic, the man in the room looks so dramatic. Like a lunatic, frantic, the man looks... Right, okay. It describes itself in the second line there. With the left shoe on his right foot. So he's half backwards, right? This spiral traffic feels too traumatic. So too much. So you could say, and maybe overemphasising this point here, you could be saying it's too much for somebody else to handle. Seeing this. That's the way it looks to me. Too much, if somebody else is watching this take place, it's too much for them to handle. Maybe seeing this. Or it's the vision of it is too much for somebody to handle, not understanding what's going on basically. Okay. That's how I interpret the one reading there, like a lunatic, frantic, the man in the room looks so dramatic, with a left shoe on his right foot. This spiral traffic feels too traumatic. It says to me like you're seeing something that cannot be understood without further explanation, or you're just seeing something that just looks very weird, very over the top, very something along the lines, and you just can't put into words what you're seeing properly. Quiet, the man is wandering around, the way out he never found. Okay. So as if he's looking for an exit to something. Can he quite discover it? Or does he know how to discover it? Or was he ever looking for it? Okay, for that. I don't want to put a finger on and say that's exactly what it is, because when you say there's a way out he never found, question mark. It questions whether he's actually, I would say it's questioning whether he actually discovered. It's questioning whether he got to go, whether he discovered where he was trying to go, or if he was even attempting to leave. That's how I see it. One or two legs. Could be more than that. And inside there's a ball made of lead. It's rolling and rumbling on a parkway. Yeah. Inside there's a ball made of lead. Inside the man, I'm assuming. I can only assume that means inside the man. Inside there's a ball made of lead. It's rolling and rumbling on a parkway. And inside there's a ball made of lead. It's rolling and rumbling. Okay, so right. So if you've got somebody who's moving frantically about, regardless, they don't seem to care where they're going or if they care where they're going, and inside there's a ball made of lead. Like that wee game with the metal ball inside it, and you move it, and every time you move it, the ball is going in some directions. Okay. Right, so that's what that means. Right, okay. Oh, how heavy is the ball? Question mark. It bends its spine to the very ground. Neither his nor another enormous orifice. Oh, how heavy is the ball? It bends its spine to the very ground. So the ball is very adaptable. So it seems to me like the ball can adapt. It's a bit like Terminator 2, like the T-1000. It can adapt itself to any sound in its own. That's what it seems like to me. So it can flatten itself out, it can come back up. That's how it seems like to me in this. So what it seems like that it can do that, which would make it, as can be described. It depends how heavy she would tend it would be for the lyrics. I mean, is it sort of enormous and lyrics, so it's not bad. So if you're talking about a heavy round metal ball on paraquat, heavy enough that it can bend its spine to the very ground. So again, working after the idea of the guy being frantic, so dramatic, and with the heavy ball. I'll have to keep going to see how that. Would the ball then, so if I love this next line, oh, how heavy is his thought, would that be like if the ball in, would that be like the ball in the room describing how his, the heavier the ball would be, the heavier his conscience or the heavier the thoughts? And he said, is that the should make a connection here? Or how heavy is his thought? And a half an hour or so, it crushed the floor and smashed the monsters. So it became so big it destroyed them. Okay. Like, for example, even with thoughts itself, like, if you look at people who have gone into mental asylums, sometimes they can't handle what's happening in their own brain and it can destroy them. It seems like she may go in that direction. So it sounds like it is for that bit there, how it sounds like the direction this is taken there. Okay. Through the black hole in the floor, spin, I begin my whirl, swirl, I'm a driftwood with no strength, spin without soul, with no will. She seems to have an obsession with space. Through the black hole in the floor, through the black hole in the floor, spin, swirl, and spin. Because you get into a black hole and everything's like that, there's no control, you can't do a thing, you have zero will, you have zero strength, you're just stuck in that whole thing. So hence, I think that's the type of that thing. It's what vortex means. Doesn't check vortex, the double expansion. Vortex. Oh. Right, I'll have to double check. I'm pretty sure vortex means some. So I was right. So basically, another word for something that can work like a black hole, but is something that resembles a whirlpool. The hellish vortex of battle time, a massive fluid such as a liquid with a whirling circular motion that tends to form a cavity or a vacuum in the centre of the circle and to draw towards this cavity or vacuum bodies subject to its action, special whirlpool. Okay, so that's what she's going for. Right. Next part. So the last one there has been basically that the ball goes down through so through the black hole in the floor, or he goes through that and he goes his journey down a vortex by which there is no escape and there's no control, there's no strength, there's no will, there's nothing like that. He is powerless against this thing. If his own thoughts like a metal ball can destroy him, then once he's gone into this vortex like thing through the floor of the black hole, then he has no chance at that point. At least how it seems. Like a feather I travel down a spiral staircase. Next wordplay. One more look through abyss where stairs are raised. Like a feather I travel down a spiral staircase. One more look down, so you go and just one more look down and the staircase disappears. Like a feather I travel down a spiral staircase. Okay? Falling deeper than it is, all stairs are there. So at first it's just like a spiral staircase, but the further down you go, it all disappears. Hence the vortex, the whirlpool vortex context, where at first it's like a stair, it's like a staircase, but the further deep you go, it becomes darker and the staircase disappears. You can't even see anything, and just all goes. Okay, at least how I see it. Through rapids and stones, I came like water and wind. I'll leave that again. Through rapids and stones, I came like water and like wind I go. Okay. Through rapids and stones. So basically, just gone down through that vortex is like, but it's just describing the process again, down through that, what it does. Through rapids and stones. So through rapids and stones, through the rapids, vortex and stones. So basically describing a river here. The rapids and stones. Came like water. So it's a comparison to rivers. I like the wind out. So, okay, came like water, disappeared like wind. Okay, sounds like that's what she's saying. Okay. Spin, whirl, whirl, spin, whirl, 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 spin, whirl, swirl, whirl, spin, swirl. Okay, So by then she's just describing the whole process, and just towards the end, I couldn't work out for life now what she was singing. But even when she was singing, I was more intrigued by the sound she was making when she was singing, the Queens. That's usually how I am at times. And unless something's very obvious to me when somebody's singing, I'm not going to really be able to work out exactly what's being sung. So it sounds like that type of thing. Sometimes, you can't let me know, when somebody's singing it's sometimes hard to work out, but with this it makes it a lot easier to understand. So this is a great song to judge range for a band like Jinjer. It's great to discover the range of the group. They're very intelligent about how they put their singles out and with the music they choose to make, and that's what I really, really love about what the band does. They don't just stick to one genre, they just spill it into other genres and do what they choose to do based on, just the music that they want to hear for themselves. And that has to be greatly admired, and obviously amongst the fan base it is. For me, I would say I'm a casual listener of Jinjer, so I can very much appreciate what they do. I can very much appreciate the music they make, the lyrics, and generally just what they're capable of. I can very much appreciate that whole thing with Jinjer. But it's a band I will occasionally kind of listen to. I'm just that way. I don't stick die hard. I used to stick die hard with certain bands. Now I don't stick die hard with certain bands. Now I'm kind of more. I kind of more go to different types and listen to different types. I'm into different genres. If you couldn't tell, I like different types of music. But metal's been the one that's been more consistent for me in my life. But there is definitely enough with this song for me to want to come back and listen to fan mail about Jinjer have got to offer. So you can expect to get more reactions at some point down the line. If I don't do one right after this video, you can expect that at some point down the line I will come back and do another video of Jinjer's. So so we'll leave it there. But there's not much else I can add to what I just said there, but this song is definitely one that's I'm going to have to playlist this. It's just too good not to. It's just that simple. And it's good actually understanding what she was putting in. It's an interesting wee story, at least one wee story that she was explaining there. The video, I will say, the kind of problem for me was that the video was going one way, the sort of musicianship was going another way. Try a line. The video direction was taken away from the music a wee bit for me, so I wasn't focusing enough on what I should have been focusing on. And then there was the vocals of Tatiana, which meant I wasn't focusing where I would like to focus to a certain degree on this. So, it means that I will have to listen to it, come back, and I'll be able to get a better analysis on the song overall for that to come in. So, if you enjoyed my reaction and my analysis of the lyrics for that, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you thought, and I will catch you the next time.